Hello, hello, hello. Hey. Come on in and get comfortable. Welcome back to Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. Welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you're returning. If you didn't feel welcome in the beginning, I'm welcoming you again. Thank you so much for tuning in to my podcast. Today's episode will be a reading of a blog post that I recently posted, and it's a book review for Kalynn Bayron's You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. So if you're interested, stick around, sit back, relax, and get comfortable because I got something to say. Well, hello there. I am back. It's only been a couple of seconds. Hopefully you are comfortable and you have about a good 5 to 7 minutes of time for me and this review. And hopefully by the end of the review, you'll be convinced to pick up the book, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. But before I get into the book review, I just want to let you all know that I have it segmented on the blog post into different sections, just so you will get a better idea of what worked for me and what didn't work for me, as well as what my overall feelings were and what I wanted more of after finishing or completing the book. So please note that. That's why I will be pausing every now and then while I'm speaking, so you'll know that I'm going to another section. Also, please be easy on me. I'm not a narrator. I don't do this for a living, so I will trip up sometimes while I'm reading, or I'll get a little bit tongue-tied. So I do apologize if that bothers you, but please bear with me. Be easy on me, and I appreciate you for being here and listening to me. So without further ado, no more lingering. We're going to go ahead and jump into the review for Kalynn Bayron's You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. All right, let's jump on in. The setting and atmosphere of You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight is isolated and creepy. Kalynn Bayron creates a work experience at Camp Mirror Lake for Charity Curtis with just as many perks as hiccups. Taking advantage of an unsupervised summer job, Charity is living her best life, curating a full-contact horror experience for those who are brave enough to face Camp Mirror Lake. Its tainted but hidden history is the main attraction. What happens when hidden history is revealed and tries to repeat itself? Strange things start happening, and what a ride it was. Likes. What I enjoyed most about the book is the red herrings. Each character I expected to be responsible for the chaos was suspicious, but not the expected party. I was genuinely caught off guard by who we should have been leery about. I also enjoyed how the author built suspense and tension in the story, as the mood of the book changed with the events. At many points, I felt tense, scared, and a little unsettled. The setting and positioning of isolating characters and depriving them of reliable access to a modern-day technology ramped up those feelings, forcing everyone to work overtime to survive the ordeals of their time spent at Camp Mirror Lake. These elements kept me reading and wondering what was to happen next. Gripes or dislikes. Pacing. The pacing was slow for the first 50% of the book. If it were not for the tension and suspense built during this time, I would have had difficulty maintaining interest in the book. Luckily, the pacing picks up after the 50% mark. This may be a me thing. I'm only partial to slower pacing when character connections are built along the way, and this story faltered for me in that area, in the first 50%. Thus, the increase in pacing of the later 50% did not negate the slowness of the first 50%. My reading experience was affected by both. Character development. Character development is important to me as a reader, and it was somehow lost on me in this novel. I didn't feel much attachment to the characters. For as much time as I spent with them, there was only one character I was genuinely curious about. Unfortunately, I felt like the characters were strangers, which affected my enjoyment of this book. In addition to this, the characters seemed like they were written as half of a person. Characterization of each character was a fraction or fragment of a whole character that could have been created to better facilitate the story. Twists. The end of the book was surprising, but it wasn't satisfying because there was an end to the end. And that can always be a hit or miss with me. It may be a personal preference for me as I tire from a book with twists stacked against each other. Eventually, it's like a game of Jenga, and there's that inauspicious chance of the finality of the story collapsing. It's the burden of consecutive twists. Not all of them worked for me. What I wanted more of. Lastly, I desired better usage of space within the story to explore the history of Camp Mirror Lake. I understand that the mystery behind the history is intentional. However, from my viewpoint, it was a disservice to the overall story. If the history of Camp Mirror Lake was tied more into the story, we would have had more opportunities for red herring appearances. I think integrating more of the history could have served as the foundation for creating characters that deliver massive confusion and suspension, messing with readers' heads. Think along the lines of absolutely nobody can be trusted. All in all, I liked You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, despite it not being as impactful as expected. For what it's worth, this book did not disappoint with the killings. If that's what you're looking forward to, this book is for you. Don't let my review prevent you from picking up this teenage slasher. Give it a try and see where you land on the scale of literary enjoyment. I hope this review of Kalynn Bayron's You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight finds you well. And just like that, I am back again. I hope that my review of Kalynn Bayron's You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight has helped you to decide whether or not you want to pick it up or give it a try. If not that, I hope that if you did read the book, it helped you to see whether or not you maybe missed something. Maybe I shed some light on something or highlighted something you didn't notice. And if not that, to that end, I hope it also maybe confirms some things. Sometimes we do these reviews or we read a book and we feel a certain type of way, but we feel alone in the thoughts. And that's why it's good to share your thoughts so you'll know whether or not other people feel the same way. You're not alone. Trust me. There's always going to be somebody else that's thinking something similar to you. So that is all that on that. I'm going to let you go. You know what time it is. I'm going to tell you to drink your water, mind the business that is yours, and continue reading beyond the book's cover. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next episode.